Dear Diary, where do I start? When I was a little girl, everything in my world seemed perfect. I had a loving family, a mother and a father, two brothers. We played out in the street from the time that school got out to the time that our mothers forced us in at night. I had a group of friends who were amazing. And like I said, life just seemed perfect. And then one day it wasn't. One day my mom packed up us and what we could fit into her little blue car, and we were off to my grandmother's. I remember spending the whole ride until we left the cul-de-sac. Looking back, I think I knew subconsciously that life would never be the same. And then I found out that it was because my dad had been having an affair and was working every day of the week and was coming in on Friday not bringing any money, totally broke. And my mom was having to use her money to support herself, my dad, and three kids. And it wasn't until I look back on it now that I see that it wasn't perfect at all. One of the memories that always stuck out to me is that one night my brother and my younger brother had got into an argument as siblings do, and next thing I know, my brother is out on the porch, freezing cold. My dad has locked him out. He's trying to get in. My dad would not let him back into the house until my mama come. And it's when I look at memories like this, I think that I see that he really wasn't a good father at all. He still isn't. I remember one time when I was little and the transition had just happened from being in my purple little bubble to it had bursting, and he was supposed to come and get me and take me to, I think, this game at Mudcat Stadium or something with him, his girlfriend, and her two children. And I remember I was so excited. I remember waking up, getting a shower, getting in my dress outfit or whatever, and sitting by the window and waiting. And the clock said 12 and waiting, and it said 1 and waiting, and it said 2 and waiting, and it said 3 and calling, finally breaking down, calling. And he had forgot he was supposed to come. He had forgot he promised me he was going to come out and get me. And when I think about it, sometimes, honestly, I want to cry because it hurts like no other type of pain. You don't even understand to know that your father would rather take care of somebody else's kids who already have a support system themselves than to take care of you who only had really at the time your mom. You know, it's one of the things that still hurts me to this day. It's like, do you know what you missed? I was in theater the whole time I was in elementary school. Not once was he at a play. I remember we used to have field days. Not once did he come to field days. I remember um, graduations, graduations from elementary to middle to high school to college. Not once did he come. And I know some people out there be like, but you didn't invite him. But we lived in a pretty small town, and he knew my grandfather, was friends with my grandfather, worked with my grandfather previously. He could have at any point reached out, got in touch with them, told them that he wanted to see me. They called me up. I would have been out there. There were times when he had my number. It's just one of those difficult things because it's like I feel like I put forth so much effort to, I put up so much effort to be a part of his life, and I feel like he never fought for me ever. He was just really complacent in taking care of somebody else's children, and that's both emotionally and financially. Um, I don't think we got but one time uh, child support one time, and that's because my mom, who God bless her, is the most strongest woman that I know in the world. She is my inspiration. She has taught me what it is to be a strong black woman, to be a strong woman, period. To have to take on like three kids and yourself by yourself. Like, she's amazing. But, oh, excuse me, I thought I heard some. She's really amazing. And she had to fight tooth and nail to get that one time payment. All we get is excuse after excuse of why he can't get it. But yet, I see him taking care of other people's children, people who get child support from their father, like who I'm a witness to the fact that they got checks, and so for him not to want to take care of us when we were younger, now that I look back on it, infuriates me. I mean, there were times when me and my brother, who were both going in like the same class at the same time, there'd be times when we wanted to go on field trips and stuff, and we were little kids. We didn't understand finances, and my mother, I'm pretty sure, a lot of times went without to be able to provide us because we wanted to be like everybody else. We wanted to go on the school trips. We didn't want to have to be the ones that sat back at school and had to write papers and stuff like that because we couldn't be on the field trips. So I really do thank her for that, because now looking back on it, I understand how difficult it was for her to have two children who were going to school at the same time, who both wanted to do the same things and wanted to be involved in, she could barely afford anything. I remember being younger, and there were times where there was like you go to the refrigerator, there was barely anything to eat. And looking back on it now, knowing that he was somewhere with a woman who basically wrecked my family, but I'm not gonna put all the fault on her. He is just as much guilty as she is. To know that he was somewhere eating and living life and enjoying it while his kids, who he made a conscious decision to lie down and have, were without food. I'll never understand how you could call yourself a parent, how you can say that you love someone, and you over here eating, getting your grandma, getting fat as hell, or whatever, like, and not provide for the ones that you created yourself. But anyway, it's crazy. Some point in time, I just decided that I can't put in the effort anymore. I just cannot. I feel like I'm the one that was always doing it. I feel like I was the one that was always calling. Always calling. Can I come over? He was always sure, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Never once was it him calling, I want you to come. Da, 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 da. And we had an explosion a few years back where I just could not hold in this pain, this hurt that he had caused me anymore. And I just exploded. And I told him all about himself. And I do not regret it. The only thing that I regret is that I wish I would have done it with a clear head and sit down and wrote a letter or something for him to, for me to be able to clearly say it. Because when you're in emotions, sometimes you don't always say what needs to be said. You can't clearly think. So that's what I wish that I would have wrote in a letter, been able to tell him everything, all the times that he hurt me, all the times that he was not at my place. He didn't come for parent teacher days. He was not at the dance. I was never able to do father daughter dances, things like that. That looking back on it, he kind of robbed me of a childhood in a sense. It wasn't. Yeah, he robbed me of a childhood. I'll say that it was terrible, and we really do not speak anymore after that. And it's supposed to hurt, but it didn't. I think it was supposed to hurt, but it didn't because it's like I was the one who always made the effort to do everything. Never him. I don't remember recalling him ever being at any birthdays, ever doing anything for my birthday, not sending a letter in the mail for my birthday. I mean, it didn't have to be monetary if he didn't have it, but not even a card. Like, come on, not even a homemade card. Like, really? Not even a piece of paper, even if it was like lines, college rule that said, "Happy birthday, thinking of you." Crazy. And then an extension of him is one time my sister, who I was so happy because I grew up surrounded by, excuse me, I'm trying to use natural. I grew up surrounded by my cousins and my brothers, and they were all boys, all boys. I always wanted a sister, and so a few years back, I got a call from my sister, and she told me that she'd been looking for me and that she wanted to meet me. I was super excited. Like super excited. You would thought they were telling me like I was the next contestant on The Price is Right. Super excited. I remember being a jumping bean. And I went and got my room cleaned up and everything. I wanted to be able to be like, this is my room and yada yada yada. So the time comes and we meet them at a food line in my town because I don't think that they could get the directions from my house, even though we gave it to them and we drove them back to the house. And I remember being so excited because ever since I entered like the latter half of elementary school, I've always wanted nieces. Like I had friends who were having nieces and nephews, and I was like, I want to be an aunt. And I found out that she had two girls who were very close to the age with myself. So I was like, I'm an aunt. And I was remember being so excited. And then she was like, she wants to see our dad. She hasn't seen our dad in a while. She can't find him. And I remember at this point in time, I was still spending every weekend with him. And I knew where he stayed, so I took her. I was excited. So we took her and we took her to my grandmother's house because she wanted to see my grandma. And I was happy. I thought this was the start of a new relationship because we kind of had fallen off once the marriage of my parents deteriorated. Although it's going to be a new relationship, I was super, 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 super excited. And then nothing. Never heard from her again. Nothing at all. She just was ghost, just gone. Now you see me, now you don't. And come to find out later that she was spending all this time with my father, and the only reason why she contacted me was because she wanted to know where he was, and she thought that we knew. And that was a dagger to the heart because here I was, this girl, grew up her whole life surrounded by boys and was desperately wanting this relationship with her sister. And to find out that I was pawned in the game for her to find her dad, and once she got what she wanted from me, she threw me away like trash. Now that was very bitter. That's why I don't fucks with her. That's why we can never be cool again. Because like I'm not going to be somebody's trash. I'm not going to. She's never apologized. I'm not going to sweep that under the rug like we're done. My dad, he hasn't apologized. I just want, and it is so annoying when you're hurt and when someone has done you wrong, when they hurt you, and you giving them chance after chance after chance after chance, and they won't apologize. They want to acknowledge your pain. They want to acknowledge that they hurt you, that their actions were wrong. It's just very, very difficult. So I've just come to the conclusion that as of right now, things are gonna stay the way they are. It just is. It just is because I'm not about to put any more effort in. I have spent from the time I was 6 until now, I feel putting all the effort in to the relationship, trying to make it work, doing the parent's job when he was supposed to be the one that was supposed to put some effort in and was supposed to try to make it work. But I'm rambling. Till we meet again, love always.